Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to unlock a whole new level in your life.
I think we've got the keys right here.
Literally. 8 incredible self-help books, all ready to be cracked open and explored.
It's like a buffet for the mind.
I love that. A buffet for the mind. And we've got some awesome sources to guide us. The best self-help books ever written, and podcast structure and detailed stories.
I've got some pretty insightful stuff.
So we're diving deep into these books today, pulling out the key takeaways.
Oh, and the stories.
Yes, sharing some inspiring stories about how these books have actually changed people's lives. Okay, so first up, a classic.
A book that's been helping people connect for, well, almost a century now.
How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, published in 1936.
And still a bestseller.
Why does this book just keep resonating with people generation after generation?
Well, Carnegie, he was really onto something. He understood that people crave connection, genuine connection.
Not just superficial stuff.
Right. It's not about tricks or manipulation. It's about genuinely taking an interest in others, remembering their names.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed how good it feels when someone remembers your name?
It's like instant validation.
Totally. And Carnegie also talks about the power of being an active listener.
Really listening to understand, not just waiting for your turn to talk.
You know, there's that great saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
So true. And speaking of people who know a thing or two about success,
Even Warren Buffett credits this book with,
with shipping his success.
yeah. He took Carnegie's public speaking course and said it completely transformed his ability to communicate. And this is Warren Buffett.
One of the most successful investors of all time.
Exactly. It just shows you no matter how smart you are, how much money you have, those interpersonal skills are crucial.
Being able to connect with people, build trust, and communicate effectively, that's essential for success in any field.
I'm thinking about Samantha, the software engineer that our sources mention.
Oh yeah, Samantha, super shy, right?
Yeah, but she used Carnegie's principles to boost her confidence, and her career just took off. So it's not just about boardrooms and big deals.
These principles apply to everyone.
They can help you navigate everyday interactions with more confidence and build stronger connections with the people around you.
So we've tackled relationships. Now how about habits? Atomic Habits by James Clear. It breaks down the science behind how we create habits, the good ones and the bad ones.
And it gives you a really practical framework for making lasting changes in your life.
It's fascinating how small changes can have such a big impact over time.
Yeah, Clear calls it the aggregation of marginal gains. So it's not about these huge overnight transformations. It's about those tiny, consistent improvements,
That compound over time.
like compound interest.
Exactly. Small changes, strategically applied, can lead to remarkable results.
I'm thinking about the story about the woman who lost over 100 pounds using Clear's habit stacking method.
Yeah, that was amazing. Just starting with something small, like drinking a glass of water before each meal.
And then building from there.
Adding in healthier eating habits, exercise, slowly over time.
It just proves that you don't have to make these drastic changes all at once. You can start small and build momentum.
I love the 2-minute rule. Making the starting point of a new habit so easy you can't say no.
Right, so instead of saying, I'm going to work out for 30 minutes, you just tell yourself, I'm going to put on my workout clothes for 2 minutes.
Then often once you've taken that first step, you're more likely to keep going.
It's like tricking your brain into getting started.
Okay.
Okay, so we've talked about relationships, we've talked about habits.
Now let's talk about finding some peace in this crazy world.
Ah, yes. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Mindfulness, present moment awareness.
It's so relevant in today's world.
It's like everyone's constantly distracted, overwhelmed, and just,
Stressed out.
yeah. But this book, it's like a guide to finding stillness amidst all the chaos.
And it's not just for us regular folks either. Oprah Winfrey, huge fan of this book, credits it with helping her navigate the pressures of fame and find some peace.
I think we could all use a little bit of that. So what is it about this book that's so powerful?
Well, Tolle's central message is this. True peace and happiness aren't found in chasing after the next big thing, or dwelling on the past, or even worrying about the future.
It's about being present.
Yes, right here, right now, this moment.
It sounds so simple, but it's actually pretty challenging to do, right? Our minds are always racing.
Exactly. But the book offers some really practical techniques for cultivating present moment awareness, like focusing on your breath, noticing the sensations in your body, or simply observing your thoughts without judgment.
Have you tried any of those techniques?
Oh, absolutely. I find that even just taking a few minutes each day to practice mindfulness can make a huge difference in how I feel.
It's about regaining control of your inner world.
Yes, it's empowering.
Okay, so we've talked about building relationships, forming habits, finding inner peace. Now let's tap into the power of our minds to achieve our goals. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich
This book is all about the power of mindset.
and visualization.
Yes. Hill spent years studying incredibly successful people, and he distilled their wisdom into principles that anyone can apply. One of the biggest takeaways is that your thoughts are incredibly powerful.
If you believe you can achieve something,
You're far more likely to take the actions necessary to make it happen.
that's like that amazing story about Jim Carrey, back when he was a struggling actor.
He wrote himself a $10 million check.
Yeah, for acting services rendered.
Yeah.
And he visualized himself achieving that level of success. And guess what? Just a few years later, he earned that exact amount for Dumb and Dumber.
Talk about manifestation.
It's an incredible example of aligning your thoughts and your actions with your goals. It's not just wishful thinking. It's about burning desire and taking consistent action,
Hill also talks about the importance of a mastermind group.
which is such a relevant concept today. Surrounding yourself with supportive, like-minded people who can inspire and challenge you.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders and accountability partners all in one.
Exactly. Okay, so we've covered some pretty empowering territory.
Hmm.
But now for a shift in perspective.
A powerful one.
Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, a book that's both heartbreaking and deeply inspiring.
Frankl was a psychiatrist who survived the horrors of Nazi concentration camps during World War II.
He witnessed firsthand the absolute worst of humanity.
Yet he also saw the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit. How people found meaning even in the face of unimaginable suffering.
Frankl's key takeaway is that even when we can't control our external circumstances, we always have the power to choose our response.
That freedom, that choice, that's what gives us strength.
He said that those who survived the camps often had something to live for, a purpose that transcended their suffering.
It might have been a loved one, a belief system, a creative project, anything that gave their life meaning.
So no matter what challenges we're facing, we can always find meaning.
Absolutely, even in the darkest of times.
Like Lucy, who was diagnosed with a chronic illness and felt totally lost, but then she read Frankl's book.
And it gave her a new perspective.
Yeah, she was inspired by his resilience and started volunteering at an animal shelter.
Finding purpose in helping others.
That's beautiful. You don't have to wait for extraordinary circumstances to find meaning.
Acts of kindness, compassion, service to others. These can all be sources of meaning in our lives.
It's amazing how we can find meaning even when things are so tough. Which leads us to a book all about being effective.
Effective in life, effective at work.
Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This one's helped so many people.
Millions become more effective in every area of their lives. It's all about principles.
Timeless principles, those fundamental truths that guide our actions and our choices.
Covey outlines 7 key habits or principles that he believes are the foundation for a fulfilling, effective life.
And the first one is all about being proactive.
Taking responsibility for your own life.
Making choices instead of just reacting to circumstances.
That reminds me of that story about Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft.
Oh yeah, he used Covey's principles to completely transform the company culture. It's amazing how these habits, these ideas, can have such a ripple effect.
Not just on individuals, on entire organizations. It shows the power of leadership that's based on these timeless principles.
Exactly. Creating a culture of empathy, collaboration, and focusing on what truly matters.
It's about leading with purpose.
And Covey's urgent versus important matrix, that's such a useful tool.
Oh, for sure. I use that all the time.
It helps you prioritize your tasks so you're not just caught up in busy work. You're focused on the things that actually matter.
Being intentional with your time and energy. Another key habit is seek first to understand, then to be understood. It's so powerful.
It's so easy to get caught up in our own heads, our own agendas. But when you take the time to truly understand someone else's perspective,
It can totally transform your relationships.
open up all sorts of possibilities for growth and collaboration.
Speaking of growth, are you ready to unleash your inner badass?
I am so ready. Bring on You Are Badass by Jen Sincero. This book is pure fun and motivation.
It's like a shot of espresso for your soul, full of humor, straight talk, and just the right amount of kick in the pants encouragement to help you ditch self-doubt and embrace your potential.
Sincero's writing style is so engaging.
So relatable. It feels like she's talking directly to you, like a friend.
She doesn't sugarcoat anything.
She's all about owning your awesomeness and ditching those limiting beliefs that hold you back.
One thing I really appreciate about this book is how she talks about money.
Oh, yeah. Abundance and prosperity. She challenges all those negative beliefs we have around money.
Like money is bad or it's hard to come by.
And she encourages you to create a mindset of abundance.
Because you deserve it.
Exactly. And she also stresses the importance of taking action. It's not enough to just think positive thoughts. You have to actually do something. Get out there and make things happen.
Our sources mention a great story about a small business owner who read this book and finally overcame her imposter syndrome.
She went for it, pitched her product to a major retailer, and landed the deal.
Isn't that incredible? Just goes to show, when you step out of your comfort zone and believe in yourself, amazing things can happen.
Sincero reminds us that we all have unique talents and gifts to offer the world.
So get out there and shine. Okay, now for our final book, one that offers a powerful framework for personal freedom and happiness.
The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's based on ancient Toltec wisdom, and it's incredibly profound.
But also really simple.
The four agreements are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Simple, but so powerful when you put them into practice.
I love that story about the teacher who used "don't take anything personally" to create a more harmonious classroom.
Oh yeah, what a difference it made.
Just a simple shift in perspective can have such a positive ripple effect on our relationships and our well-being.
When you stop taking things personally, it frees you from so much emotional baggage. You can respond to situations with more clarity and compassion.
And that agreement to be impeccable with your word, that one's so important too.
It's about speaking with integrity, being mindful of the power of your words, using them to uplift and inspire, not to tear down.
Our words can create or destroy, heal or harm.
It's about choosing to use our words consciously and create a more positive and loving world.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. So we've journeyed through 8 life-changing books, each with its own unique wisdom. But before the break, we posed a little challenge. If you could only choose one of these books, which would it be?
Ooh, tough choice. It's like picking a favorite. Each one has something special to offer.
Right. But I think that act of choosing, even if it's hard, it can actually tell us something about ourselves.
Totally. What speaks to you the loudest right now? What's grabbing your attention? It might be a clue about what you're most focused on, or maybe what challenges you're facing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe you're feeling stuck in a rut and you need some fresh ideas for building better habits.
Or maybe you're craving those deep, authentic connections. Or maybe you're just seeking a little more peace and quiet in this crazy world.
And that's the beauty of these books. They offer something for everyone, no matter where you are on your journey. You know, one thing that really stood out to me as we talked about all these books is the importance of mindset.
Oh, absolutely. From Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich to Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass, they all emphasize how powerful our thoughts are.
Yeah, like our thoughts really shape our reality, don't they?
It's like that Henry Ford quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Our mindset can either lift us up or hold us back. It's that powerful.
And it's not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about aligning those thoughts with the actions we take.
That's where James Clear's Atomic Habits comes in. It gives you that practical framework, that structure for turning those positive intentions into concrete habits.
It's not about setting goals. It's about creating those systems that will help you reach them, those small, consistent actions that add up to amazing results over time.
Those tiny changes that really make all the difference. And another big theme we saw throughout all these books was the importance of human connection.
Oh, for sure. Dale Carnegie, back in 1936 with How to Win Friends and Influence People, he nailed it.
Empathy, genuine interest, active listening, those are essential for building strong relationships, both personal and professional.
And it's not just about networking or climbing some ladder. It's about that sense of belonging, that shared humanity that we all crave.
Even those books that are more about an internal journey, like Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now or Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, that connection piece is still there.
Tolle talks about how transformative presence and compassion can be, not just for ourselves, but in how we interact with other people. And Frankl, who went through just unimaginable suffering, he found meaning and purpose in helping others.
Even in those darkest moments, it's a powerful reminder that we're not alone in this world and that even our smallest actions can have a ripple effect.
We're all interconnected. So as we wrap up our deep dive into these 8 life-changing books, remember this. Personal growth, it's a journey.
It's not a destination, it's something we keep working at.
There will always be new challenges, new lessons to learn, but the power to transform your life, it's within you.
So keep exploring, keep learning, keep striving to be the best version of yourself.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.